Welcome to Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Welcome to one of the flyest shows and podcasts, a positive show, a show that's not going to overwhelm you with negative news or anything of that nature. You know, we love to bring positivity, positive coverage. So welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast. This is the Grown Folks Social Hour, and I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is the Cultural Variety Podcast show, Grown Folks Social Hour. How y'all doing? It's been about a good week since our last episode, and I do apologize. It's the summertime, so we haven't been consistent with appearing 3 times a week, but we at least make sure that we fall on one of our days that we do have 3 times a week, you know, one of our episodes. So again, if you are stopping in at the show every alternate weekend or every weekend, but on alternate days such as Sunday and Mondays, we bring you what we call Cultural Studies Night. And so what we like to do is we like to give you a breakdown of a short story, because we do believe in literature here at Coffee Talk Podcast. So we'll give you a short story. We'll give props to our doctors, our lawyers, our scholars, our poets, our ancestors. You know what I mean? Yes. And then on Wednesdays is our sports show, but we're not like any particular sports show. We don't really care about who won or lost the event or the game, but what we like to do is give you the different intricacies that's going on in the world of sports. You know what I mean? And then Friday and Saturday nights, we love to bring you what we call the Grown Folks Social Hour. So tonight is the Grown Folks Social Hour. Grown Folks Social Hour is a little like a lounge setting. So make sure that you come on in. Make sure that you gather whatever you want to sip on this nice weekend, and whether that is some wine, a beer, some water, a smoothie, a latte, whatever you sipping on, again, a smoothie, whatever you sipping on, but just make sure that you're enjoying yourself and make sure that you are getting the flavor. You know what I'm talking about? No doubt. Who brings you the flavor other than Coffee Talk Podcast? So that's our show in detail. Again, we are a Cultural Variety Podcast show. Tonight is just, we're going to do some random topics, some topics that you may have heard about this week. And we just want to give our thoughts and opinions on it. You know what I mean? So tonight we're going to definitely discuss LeBron James, where LeBron James going as far as for his possibly last year in the NBA. Maybe not. He hasn't announced that. But as you know, LeBron is 41, getting up there, maybe 42 now, getting up there. And, he wants to give himself an opportunity to win, to go out a winner as well as, because he's already a winner. You could be a winner in the game of life. You know what I'm talking about? But, he wants to enjoy his last season or two. Again, I don't know if this is his last season. But whatever he decides to do, may he have fun with that. So the brother wants to do that. So we're going to discuss that. We're also going to jump into Jay-Z. Yeah, we're going to talk about Jay-Z Yankee Stadium concert, which was yesterday on July 10th. I think there's one going on tonight. What is it, a three-day show? So all weekend or whatnot. We definitely want to talk about the Big Tigger arrest. You know who Big Tigger is. Tigger is a DJ personality. Used to be on the Basement Show that used to appear on BET, a rap show that was very successful in what was that? The late 80s, early 90s. You know. And then we want to talk about just the way some women are dressing right now in the summer, man. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to have you here. Let's go ahead and dive into the show. But if this is your first time appearing at the show, we never start the show without giving you what we call the flavor as well as the wise word. So what is the flavor? The flavor is just giving props and giving a little bit of information on what we sipping on tonight. We sipping on lemon mint tea. That's right. We sipping on lemon mint tea. So that's the flavor for the night. Let us know what you sipping on. Do that by putting that in the comments. Let us know you're here. Hit the like button. Hit the notification button. Let us know that you're here with us tonight on this beautiful night. You know, some people call it the evening, but you know, the sun's down and people are getting into their thing tonight. They either enjoying Coffee Talk Podcast live on YouTube, or they getting ready to go out, or maybe they just relaxing on the patios. You know what I mean? But tonight we sipping on, again, lemon mint tea. So we're going to go into the 3 benefits of lemon mint tea, and then we're going to jump into what we call the wise words. We always give you a description or a quote of some wise words that was left with that our ancestors left, our great elders, our great scholars left behind for us. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and dive right into what is the flavor for tonight. Lemon mint tea. And why? Why is lemon mint tea the flavor of the night? I'm gonna go ahead and give you the 3 benefits of lemon mint tea. Number 1, it improves your digestive health. You know what I mean? It helps with the digestive system, calms it. Also, it boosts your immunity. You know what I mean? So it boosts your immune system. It helps with if you have any allergies. It's like allergy season. Some people be getting sick in the summer too, which was always weird to me, but I do see it. And then the 3rd benefit of sipping on lemon mint tea is that lemon mint tea helps reduce stress. So that's tonight's flavor. What are you sipping on? What is the flavor? Leave that in the chat box. Let us know what time it is. All right. Now let's go ahead and move right along to what we call the wise words. And again, the wise words can be from any of our people, you know, that is an ancestor of ours that may have left, or in some encouraging words of motivation, of empowerment, of tradition. You know what I mean? So tonight we want to give it up for this particular woman. She is from Dorchester County, Maryland. And she once stated, she said, you know, she wanted to free the slaves. And she said she could have freed many more if they knew that they were slaves, you know. So if you don't know who that is or who made that word or that discussion or that statement, I should say, it's no other than one of our very own, Harriet Tubman. Again, Harriet Tubman was born in Dorchester County, Maryland, back in March of 1822. We're unable to find the exact date, but I believe that we should go ahead and be celebrating that now that you know it. You know, again, here at Coffee Talk Podcast, we always want to continue to build our legacies by sharing the tradition, sharing the information, so that you, the people, can go ahead and have other reasons to celebrate the victories and to celebrate your people. You know what I mean? So, yeah, March 1822 is the birth date of Harriet Tubman. And she moved on to the Essence back on March 10th, 1913. Tubman's wise words was this. Harriet Tubman once stated, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." I'm going to say it again. She said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." And when I hear a quote like that, the first thing that comes to my mind is that, you have to manifest somewhere. You have to get the idea or the thought from somewhere. And I remember Mr. Farrakhan once said that, once you manifest something and you bring it to light and seeing it grow after being a thought, is one of the most beautiful things. And he has said that that's one of the greatest fulfillments. He said it's not sex. He said, but to take something from thought into a reality is one's greatest fulfillment. You know what I mean? So I definitely recognize. Thank you. I definitely recognize what Mrs. Harriet Tubman was saying when she stated again as tonight's wise words. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. This is Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast show. Grown folks, social hour. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in, man. We got a few little topics we're going to discuss. But the first topic I want to discuss is this one here. So, I woke up this morning and, I was going to go run the lake. I owe myself to do it tomorrow. I didn't do it today. Some distractions set in. I wasn't too happy about it, but it was some things I did have to get done. You know what I mean? So I had to go run some errands this morning, get some house supplies, to clean the bathrooms, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And so it took precedence over me going to work out. But again, like I said, I'm going to work out early in the morning tomorrow. But as I was running my errands, I went to Family Dollar because, you want to go to Family Dollar to get your cleaning supplies. No doubt, man. I love the big market name stores, man, where I can go in there and take my time with it. But, hey, people love going to Family Dollar, because they got a nice price. You know what I mean? And you can go ahead and get your Pine Sol and all that other little cleaning supplies you need to get your house fresh. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so I'm out running my errands, and I see this woman get out of her car, man. And I'm gonna just paint the description. All right, it's grown folks social hour. I'm gonna paint the description, but I'm gonna also discuss my visual and what I like and what I don't like as I describe this story. So go ahead and listen clearly. So I'm coming out of Walgreens. I see this girl, man. She got like a Coke bottle type body. And she getting out the car. She's not my type, but again, I'm a man, so I'm gonna just paint the picture, right? So you know what I'm saying. So she gets out the car, man, and I'm flabbergasted. Is that a word that we still use today? Can we bring that word back for the youth? And but I'm flabbergasted because the sister had on these shorts that was so tight up on her thighs, going into the yawny area, if y'all know what I'm talking about. And it just was gripping her ass type shit. But it was not a look that a woman should have. Like, she didn't have no shame in her game. They were so tight and they looked like underwear. And it messed me up because I'm looking like, damn, you out here just showing the world everything? Like, everything? You don't leave no type of what's the word I'm looking for? Help me by throwing it into the chat. But you're not out here having no type of pride or self-respect for yourself. You know what I mean? And it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate to see it. And I was having a discussion, and we was talking about the agony of men. And I had made a comment like, a man, and I'm talking about man, not no boy, not no male, not no zombie, but a man would not want to wife something like that. Not when she's showing the whole world her pee print. It's grown folks social hour. So if y'all don't mind, don't have the kids watching the show, because we do want to use our type of language, even though we could talk versatile, but it's grown folks social hour. We're gonna let our hair down a little bit. But she had the pussy print was just out, man. And it was like she didn't have no shame in the game. And what I wanted to explain as we're talking about this is that men are visual creatures. And I get it that you are, when you dress that way, that provocatively way, you know what you're doing because you put the clothes on and you're out there searching for attention, whether it's good or bad. But typically, when you dress like that, all provocative with barely no clothes on, it doesn't bring a delightful, positive commentary. But what it typically brings is a negative response or even a negative thought pattern. Because like I was saying, men are visual creatures, But if you ain't having no self-respect and how you carry yourself, how you dress when you're out, even if you're running errands or whatever you may be doing, you are attracting boys and males and brothers that probably just got out of jail or just lost a woman or whatever. And the thing that they're thinking of is just sex. They're thinking about, damn, I would knock it down. But you never gain that respect to be someone's lady. You never gain that respect to be chosen as a wife because you didn't care from the beginning. I was explaining to my son, when you see a woman outside, and it's hot, y'all. It was hot in Minnesota today. It's going to be like this all week. I'm talking about 92 to 95 degrees plus our humidity. If you know what our humidity is like, it's really like 102. We like the northern Arizona right now. Man, it's hot. I ain't gonna hold you. It's hot. But if you out there, even though it's hot, and you girls are just putting on anything that looks like you should be wearing it to bed, shame on you. And it's crazy in this era because I was listening to a reel the other night on Facebook as a guy was describing how women just dress like prostitutes now. There's no shame in their game. You used to have a little bit more pride. Even if you had a beautiful body, you still had a little bit of pride of everybody don't need to see that. You know what I mean? You know what your cookies is like, but it's not for everybody unless you searching and seeking attention. I told my son, never wife no woman like that. Never wife no woman like that. And women that are out here, just looking scandalous, dressing scandalous and scantily, have a mental illness of some sort. I compare them to women that have a bunch of writing and stuff all under their chest, tattoos, or people, men or women, that have tattoos all over their face. That is some type of sign of a mental illness, and that's not to pick on people with mental illnesses, but it's more of a focal point to point out that, man, something not right here. And it all leads back to attention seeking. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like the story of the little boy that cried wolf. And if you don't know what that is, well, the little boy that cried wolf would always cry out for help. In this particular fable, he would cry out for help, and then he just did it because he wanted to see who was paying attention to him. And so, to make a long story short, every time he would call out, people would come run to him, How are you okay? 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 To the point that people got tired of every time coming to save him, cuddle him, or assist him, it would be false. He wasn't under no distress. You know what I mean? So people refused to stop coming to save him till he really needed the help. So that, to me, correlates with some type of mental illness or some type of seeking of attention. You know what I'm talking about? I remember when women, even when we started to go through this sexual explosion of video girls and things like that throughout the 90s, before it got to the Little Kim album cover or the Ice-T's album cover with Syndicate Queen Darlene or whatever, women still would cover themselves a little bit instead of just so provocative as it is today. You know what I mean? I want to go ahead and ask your thoughts wherever you are. If you were in the Twin Cities today, if you're out there anywhere in any state that's just hot right now. I know Miami, y'all used to it, but wherever you are and it's hot right now, how are the women dressing and what are your thoughts on it? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button. This is just Grown Folks Social Hour. These are just random topics that we're going to discuss tonight here at Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and move right along to our next topic of discussion. And we're going to talk about the Big Tigger situation. Again, Big Tigger is a DJ personality. He done worked with the likes of a little bit of everybody from hip hop to award shows to, a little bit of acting. Well, Tigger was arrested and allegedly, and they say his girl was arrested a little bit later, allegedly. But there was an incident that occurred between the two this past week. And just from what was shown out there on social media, as far as the video of the incident, it showed, is that Tigger's wife? I don't know if that's his wife or just his baby mama, whatever. But she had his phone, his cell phone. You know how it is, fellas, if you're that type of guy, and I'm not saying Tigger is this type of guy, but you guys know how it is when your girl grabs your phone. You immediately want to rush back and grab your phone, especially if you're not being honest in anything. We've all been there or been scared of when somebody grabs your phone. Me in particular, I don't give a damn if you grab my phone. You're either gonna find what you're looking for, or your ass shouldn't have grabbed my phone to begin with because it's mine. I'm just saying. You teach, well, where I come from, we was taught not to go in no woman's purses, not to invade people's privacy. So it goes both ways. Don't grab my goddamn phone because you might find what the fuck you looking for. So the story goes that the wife grabbed Big Tigger's phone and it showed video coverage of him, of her falling to the ground. I won't necessarily say he pushed her to the ground. I didn't see that when I saw the video. People that watch the video, people that may even have some type of vindication against men, against black men or whatever, may take it the wrong way and say he pushed her down or anything like that. I didn't see none of that. I saw her on the ground and she fell to the ground on her own. And he was standing over her, but not on top of her per se. But she was in between his legs. I know that sounds crazy because some people will say, well, he was standing over her, but not necessarily. The young man, I don't know if this is his son or just the woman's son. He was saying, hey, Mr. Tigger, you don't got to stand on her like that. And one of the things that I felt is important in this situation was that Tigger was not so aggressive or highly emotional that he couldn't answer the boy's question. He actually stopped grabbing the phone from the girl and said to the son, I'm not standing over her, on her. I'm just trying to grab my phone. He was like, if I can get my phone, this will all be over with. So you could tell that the brother was conscious enough to relay that message to the young man as he was speaking to him. It's unfortunate though that we as couples have to carry on in that type of manner, even from a celebrity standpoint or even just a regular standpoint, that we cannot solve our differences without getting into something like that. So there was a mugshot that was out of Tig. I saw that. And I don't know where that's going to go, where that's going to lead, if it's going to be looked at as a domestic situation or if it's just going to be looked at as, look, we had to take somebody out the house. Because, once the police is called, once them overseers is called and they come out, somebody got to go. Y'all know that, right? They don't care who started it, but because we had to drive out here, one of y'all going to leave the home. And typically it's always the black man, man. And that ain't funny, but that's a reality. And so I would say this, just giving advice, is that, we ain't into that calling the police stuff, man, unless you really worried about your life. But if we just having a disagreement, we have to have a more emotional intelligence as to what is off limits. We don't need to be grabbing each other's stuff, throwing vases at each other, things like that. We all can get upset. We all may not disagree, but we all have to be consciously intelligent enough to, hey, maybe walk out of the room. Or perhaps maybe stop being so fearful of your women and speak the truth and walk in your truth, gentlemen, with whatever it may be. Now, I'm not here to say that, Tigger's cheating, whatever that is, is he cheating or whatever. But I will say this to defend him and all men across the board is that his possession is his possession. If that's his stuff, give him his stuff. As vice versa. If it's a woman's, whatever it is, her purse, her wallet, her whatever it is, her book bag, whatever it is, give her her stuff. So I know a lot of y'all had checked out and saw the imagery of it, the short video of the Big Tigger incident. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Let me know if you saw it. What's your thoughts on Big Tig and his girl? Should he leave the girl? Can a relationship ever get back to its promise if police were called? You know what I mean? Now, I know some incidents, some people are just crazy, mad in love. You know what I mean? Whatever that is, where some women, some men get turned on from having that dopamine of drama in their relationships, and then they go and start to fuck like wild animals a little later. You know what I mean? It's a sickness. I'm glad I'm not like that or deal with people like that. But I've seen and heard cases like that, and I'm sure you have too, Again, this is Coffee Talk Podcast, Grown Folks Social Hour. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. Who do you think is wrong? Do you think it's Big Tig's wife or girl? Do you think it's Big Tig? Could he have just turned off the phone, suspended the phone, whatever, and just let it be and walked out the house? Where do we go from here? If she is his wife, do you divorce her, Big Tig? She already broke one of the codes of bringing other people into y'all's situation by calling the police. Now, I'm not here, or Coffee Talk Podcast is not here to encourage you from calling the police if you feel you are in bodily harm. Key word is bodily harm. But if you two are just arguing over give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that, I don't know what positivity comes from or can help the relationship once you start going outside of each other and bringing other people involved in the situation, such as the police. Go ahead and let us know what your thoughts are. Leave that in the comments here at Coffee Talk Podcast. Again, we are definitely live right now. If you're watching the show, this is us, Coffee Talk Podcast, one of the flyest and dopest podcast shows, not only in the Midwest, but in the whole nation. We're the only podcast out there that is not giving a damn about likes. We do it for our own creation because we love our followers and our viewers, and we want to make sure that y'all's getting positivity, man. It's so bombarded right now in the podcast world. Everybody has drama, or they need to create drama, to create clickbaits, to create attention in the algorithm. But we're not going to do that to our people. What we want to do is we just want to bring good stories, good educational stories, great knowledge, love, humor, laughter, and of course, we want to give you some flavor. Coffee Talk Podcast, Grown Folks Social Hour. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is LeBron James. Yes, LeBron James. What is it? 23 years, going on 24 years of playing in the NBA. Broke Kareem's scoring record this past year or so as a Laker. Finally has opted out and is currently a free agent. Well, LeBron James, he's going to be, 42 years old. He has 4 championships, 2 with Miami Heat, 1 with the Cleveland Cavaliers, as well as 1 with the Lakers. LeBron James is currently a free agent. And when we talk about LeBron and we talk about, well, man, he's 42, this brother is still averaging 25 a game. He came out balling last year after missing 2 months with an injury. You know, LeBron has some choices. And the choices that he has is right now he can go over the Philadelphia 76ers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, or the Golden State Warriors. And I want to go ahead and break this down a little bit and just go over my thoughts of where I think he should go. Oh, and Minnesota. I think if you want to just have fun playing basketball and you want to be around a good group of people, you want to be around a good city. Although, I mean, we don't compare to the Miami. We don't compare to LA if we're talking about weather. But one of the things we do give you is we do give you a nice 4 seasons. They say LeBron loves to play golf. We have golf here, but not as long as what you're used to. But you definitely can come here and you can fish, you can reflect, and it's a good place to raise families. You know what I mean? I know you got a young daughter. That's what she's just now going into junior high or high school. You know, so I would, if it was up to me and I knew the man, I would say, hey, come to Minnesota. Come play with LaMelo Ball. Come play with great rim protector and defensive player Rudy Gobert. Come play with Ant-Man. Come play with Jaden McDaniels, the Scottie Pippen of this era. You know, you just a missing piece. Yeah, we did lose Nasir, our power forward, who was big with the fans here in the Twin Cities, as well as he was a contributor on our team. We need to fill that power forward spot. And I think it would be great if LeBron James came to Minnesota. However, let's talk about some other teams. LeBron James going to the Golden State Warriors. I like the look of it because he'll be playing with Steph, you know, and him and Steph played great together, as you saw in the Olympics. They're veterans. You got Draymond Green, who's an enforcer, who is a vet himself. And I think they could play good together. What's going to happen to Jimmy Buckets Butler? I don't know. But I know he's coming off of an injury. I don't remember if it's an ACL or if it was an Achilles tendon. I didn't get to look that up, but I know he's coming off of that. And the recovery time is anywhere between 9 and 12 months. And who knows if he's going to be as effective when he returns. You know, you still need that full 12 to 14 months just to feel comfortable again. You know, so going to Golden State, they would end up being one of the oldest teams in the NBA next year. Can they handle it defensively? Who's to say? I don't know. What's your thoughts of LeBron James going to Minnesota or Golden State? The other teams that is a possible destination is the Miami Heat. Now, he had mad success with Miami Heat. He gave them 2 championship rings. To me, LeBron played his greatest ball in Miami. You know, he was just at his peak. You know what I mean? He was a baller in Miami. And him going back to Miami looks good, but I would be worried about the fact that that front court would be him, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, as well as Bam Adebayo. And that's very long as far as range. You know what I mean? Defensively, it can look good. Offensively, it can be a problem because the brothers are just too long and just too in the way. You know, you might be able to pull it off with 1 or 2 on the floor at the same time, but having all 3 on the floor at the same time, I don't know. You know, that would definitely be a mental challenge to see those brothers play together down there in Miami. Let's move right along with the Cleveland Cavaliers. How about the Cleveland Cavaliers? I like him going back to Cleveland. It makes for a great story. You know what I mean? As he did a 360, he did his travels around the league. So I'm saying he played for super teams, whatever. I'm not here to argue that tonight. I respect him. I got him ranked 3rd best ever, behind Mike and Kobe. And, you know, and a lot of people don't give LeBron his respect due to the longevity. You know, I respect longevity, but they also say, well, because of the longevity, you played so many 22, 23 years of basketball, of course you're going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know what I mean? Scoring record, career scoring record. Some people like Michael Jordan and other people of that era, you know, they feel like, you know, if we wanted to go after those type of accolades, we could have, you know, but it was more about, hey, just giving it your best, playing all 82 games and just playing till you didn't want to play no more. And that's not to knock LeBron. LeBron loves the game. He still wants to play. But, you know, some people just don't respect that. Hell, man, you played 23 years, sit your little old ass down. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just saying that's what I heard. You know what I mean? Let me know what your thoughts are on him going back to Cleveland. Here's another note with going to Cleveland. I like that he'll be able to keep his bigs. I like that he'll be able to keep Spider, who's a 2 guard on the team. Nothing really changes if he stays with Cleveland. The only thing that I don't trust as a sports fan, as an NBA fan, and him going to Cleveland, is you still got that damn James Harden on your team. You know, James Harden is a great season player, an in-season player. He's getting up there in age as well. I think he's going to be 36 this season. However, when it comes to the big stage, the big lights, to playing for that shit, playing to go to the championship, playing to advance in the playoffs, James Harden just doesn't get it done. You know, could it be the case of what Kobe Bryant said? When Kobe Bryant was asked, do you think James Harden can win championships in the NBA? And allegedly, I like to use the word allegedly, but it was said that Kobe said that style of play ain't efficient enough to get you over the hump to get into the championship. These are the words of the great Kobe Bryant. So what is y'all's thoughts on where LeBron James should go? Does he go to Philadelphia? I think they're loaded there. The question is, can Joe Embiid, the center for the Philadelphia 76ers, take a back seat? Not only to just to the media hype and circus of having a LeBron James, but also as far as offense. You know, can you take a back seat from being the number one option on offense? You know, you got VJ Edcomb coming up, a young, exciting player. You still got Maxey over there, who is exciting and in his prime. You know, you would add LeBron James, Joe Embiid to that lineup. That's a crazy lineup. You got defense out there. You're very long. You're very quick. Hey, I can see them being Eastern Conference finalists, ready to play the New York Knicks next year to see who goes to the championship. But those are just my thoughts on LeBron James and LeBron James's future. Go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are. Again, this is Grown Folks Social Hour. We're just talking about random topics tonight. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on LeBron James. Where do you think he should go? It's not about the money. It's not about the money for teams. That's why so many teams are coming at him, trying to get him. But it could be the last year too. So it's definitely going to be box office. You're definitely going to continue to fill the arena, sell the jerseys, go on the world tour. You know, but where do you think LeBron James should go? Let us know. Leave that in the comments. This is Coffee Talk Podcast, the Grown Folks Social Hour. All right. Now, just to wrap this up, and again, thank you for taking the time to watch our show, support our show. Please let us know you was here by leaving it in the chat. Give us a shout out. We'll give you a shout out. Again, this is Coffee Talk Podcast, a cultural variety podcast show, and one of the number one shows in podcasts in the nation. You know, your show, my show, where we bring you positive content all the way around. All right, so the last little topic we're discussing is the Jay-Z concert. 3 days sold out at Yankee Stadium. I mean, this brother done packed 45,000 seats. 3 nights in a row. Incredible. And that's what I want to discuss when we're talking about rappers and MCs. See, if you make it to a rapper level and you make it to 1 through 25, you did your damn thing. If you make it to the top 50, you borderline damn near local still. But MCs, to be an MC, you must have a virtuous a gigantic hip hop category of great music. Do you know that Jay-Z's concert is in recognition of the Reasonable Doubt album, which was 30 years ago? That's right, 30 years ago. 98. And I was thinking to myself, wow, man, it went so fast. It don't even seem like it was 30 years of Jay-Z, Hov having an impact in hip hop, but also giving us some classics. You know, one of the things I do thinking about though when I see this concert, and by the way, Jay-Z shaved his hair. He shaved his hair. He didn't like, allegedly heard he didn't like the Drewski skit at the Grammy Awards. So he went ahead and got New York fresh again. But yeah, man, this brother has a lot of classics, man. He still has that star power. So as an MC, you know, MCs is gonna be around forever because of the catalog, because of their great music. And all I would say is if you are any type of young brother and you a student of the game, that should be your marker where you want to head. You want to head to that MC echelon. You don't want to just get stuck as a rapper. You know what I mean? Yeah, I gotta apologize. I'm sweating a little bit here and there in the studio. Because again, it's hot, man. It was hot today. Yes, it was. But let me go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are on Jay-Z's big turnout, selling out Yankee Stadium, 45,000 plus all weekend long, man. Is he one of the greats? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Let us know where you got him ranked. Is he in your top 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, top 25? You know, go ahead and let us know. And also, while you're there in the chat box, go ahead and let us know what your greatest Jay-Z album is, or even single. You know what I mean? Or even video. I would love to hear it. Definitely we'll give you all a shout out next time we're on the show. But that concludes our show for tonight. Again, this is Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast show, Grown Folks Social Hour, and I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is the Cultural Variety Podcast show. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night, and make sure you are sucker free. Until next time, I'll holla at y'all. Coffee Talk Podcast. Peace.